All right, so today we're going to do a deep dive into Bollywood.
Ooh, fun.
And specifically, how family dynamics play out on the big screen.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about like typical song and dance routines.
Right.
Though those are definitely part of the magic.
Of course.
But we're going to go deep into 3 films that span like 5 decades.
Okay.
So we've got Deewaar from 1975.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge.
DDLJ.
Yes, DDLJ.
Yeah.
From 1995. And a recent hit, Rani Prem Kahani from 2023.
That's a good one.
It is a good one.
It's interesting how these films, they manage to capture like the vibrancy of Bollywood, but also these deeply rooted cultural values.
Yes.
And what we're going to uncover is how those love stories really become intertwined with family love and duty.
Yeah.
It's a really fascinating look at India's evolving society.
Exactly. And while these films are full of romance,
Right.
they go beyond that like simple boy meets girl trope.
Yes.
And instead delve into that complex dance between, personal desires and those all-important family expectations.
For sure.
And speaking of families, our sources highlight something really interesting.
Okay.
Which is that the mother figure is portrayed as this powerful architect of morality and responsibility.
Yes.
Take Deewaar, for example.
Right.
It's a gritty crime drama that really brings this concept to life.
Okay.
You've got 2 brothers, Ravi and Vijay, raised by their mother, but their paths diverge dramatically.
Oh, wow.
So Ravi, the good son, becomes a police officer.
Okay.
But Vijay ends up a hardened criminal.
Huh. And what's fascinating is that Vijay isn't just like a simple villain.
Right.
His actions, while illegal, really stem from this deep sense of duty to his mother.
Right.
And a desire to like uplift his family from poverty.
Yeah.
Deewaar actually uses this really striking visual motif of temple bells to symbolize this tension between traditional morality and Vijay's own code of ethics.
Oh, interesting.
Which is really shaped by poverty and his father's betrayal.
Yeah. There's this incredibly powerful scene that sticks with you.
Oh, yeah.
Where the 2 brothers are children and they enter a temple with their mother.
Okay.
And it's filled with the clanging of these bells.
Oh, wow.
And Ravi walks in with his mother, but Vijay refuses. It's as if those bells, which represent, that traditional morality and faith, are actually tormenting him.
It's so powerful.
And that same imagery appears later in the film when the brothers are adults.
Really?
Ravi, still that dutiful son, stands by his mother's side, and the bells are ringing all around them.
Wow.
But Vijay, even as a successful criminal, remains outside the temple.
Huh.
It's like he's rejecting those traditional norms, the very values that his mother embodies.
Yeah.
But what's so compelling is that his actions are driven by this fierce love for his family. He provides for his mother, even if it means operating outside the law.
Yeah, what do you make of that?
I mean, it challenges our typical understanding of right and wrong. Vijay's moral code is really shaped by his family's struggles.
Yeah.
And particularly the betrayal that his father endured, which plunged them into poverty.
Right.
So it's not just about rebelling against society's rules.
Yeah.
It's about forging his own path based on loyalty to his family.
Right.
Which is quite a complex theme for a Bollywood film, don't you think?
Absolutely. And, it speaks to the broader idea that these films aren't just entertainment.
Right.
They're grappling with these weighty social issues and reflecting the evolving landscape of India itself.
Yeah.
Take, for instance, the shift from Deewaar to Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge, which was released 20 years later. Like, wow, things have changed.
Right.
But some things stay the same.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
It is fascinating.
I love it.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so DDLJ.
Deewaar explores this conflict between, like, duty and desire through this lens of crime and morality.
Right.
DDLJ tackles similar themes.
Yeah.
But through the lens of romantic love in a modernizing India. You see, our source material talks about how India's liberalization, with all its international influences, really impacted filmmaking.
Yeah.
Movies started being shot in, like, exotic locations all over the world, reflecting this more globalized perspective.
Exactly. And DDLJ is all about like modern romance set against this backdrop of tradition.
Yeah.
So we meet Raj and Simran, our lovebirds,
Yeah.
who fall head over heels in Europe, but then they have to face those traditional expectations upon returning to India.
Yeah. Think about a time when you had to make like a difficult choice between what you wanted and what your family expected.
Ooh, yeah.
DDLJ captures that universal struggle perfectly.
It does.
And it does so with this incredibly poignant scene where Simran's mother reveals her own sacrifices.
Oh, wow.
She shares how, as a woman, she had to put aside her own happiness for the sake of her family, urging Simran to follow suit.
It's powerful.
It really highlights the weight of cultural norms, particularly the idea that personal desires, especially for women, should take a backseat to familial obligations.
For sure.
It's interesting, though, that even with all this pressure, neither DDLJ nor Rani Ki Prem Kahani portray their characters as like outright rebelling against their families.
Right.
It's not a Romeo and Juliet situation.
It's not.
Why do you think that is?
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Instead of outright rebellion, we see these characters trying to negotiate and find a balance.
Okay.
In DDLJ, for instance, Raj is deeply in love with Simran, but he insists on winning over her father's approval.
Yeah.
He wants to be accepted into the family, not seen as someone who's trying to tear it apart.
And there's that line in Rocky or Rani that really struck me.
Oh, yeah. What was it?
It's family that does the backseat driving.
Oh, that's so good.
It's so good.
That perfectly encapsulates like the underlying message, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Manly values and traditions are this constant presence, even in modern relationships.
Yeah.
And respecting those values is portrayed as essential for a successful relationship.
So it seems that Bollywood is suggesting that it's not about rejecting family, but about finding a way to make both love and family work together.
Precisely. This idea of negotiation and compromise speaks to like a deeply rooted respect for family and kinship that transcends generations in Bollywood films.
Yeah.
We see it in Deewaar with Vijay's unwavering loyalty to his mother, and again in DDLJ and Rocky or Rani, where the characters strive for harmony between their personal desires and familial expectations.
It's truly remarkable how these films, made decades apart, grapple with these fundamental themes. On one hand, you have this modern desire for individual expression and romantic love. And on the other, there's this enduring emphasis on family duty and respecting traditions.
It's so true.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if Bollywood is saying, like, you can have it all, love, family, and a happy ending.
It's the dream.
But, you know, it's not a free pass. These films really show that achieving that balance, it takes work, compromise, and, like, a deep understanding of where you come from.
Yeah, that message is incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Especially in a world that so often prioritizes like individual desires above all else. These films kind of remind us that our families and those connections we forge within them really shape who we are and play like a vital role in our happiness.
So it's not about choosing one or the other. It's about finding that sweet spot where love and family can coexist.
You know what's fascinating is that this theme resonates with audiences far beyond India's borders. It taps into this like universal human experience, you know, the yearning for love and belonging, the complexities of family relationships, and the challenges of navigating cultural expectations.
It really makes you think.
It does.
Have you ever felt that tug of war between following your heart and meeting your family's expectations?
Oh, for sure.
How have your own cultural values shaped your understanding of love and relationships?
These are questions worth pondering. We are all influenced by the stories we absorb and the values we inherit. And Bollywood, with its like vibrant storytelling and emotional depth, offers this really unique lens through which to explore these like universal themes.
If you're intrigued by what we've uncovered today, I encourage you to check out these films. You might find yourself laughing, crying.
For sure.
And maybe even recognizing a bit of yourself in the characters' journeys.
Oh, yeah.
That's the beauty of a good story.
It is.
It stays with you long after the credits roll.
Absolutely.
Until next time.
Bye.